I'm not sure if I should even start my presentation, because it seems that we have all the same problems and the same solutions we are looking for. But my dean expected me to be here, so I have to say a few words about practice in Slovenia. We have a very good practice. What we can call environmental report, the first one was made in 1972. And in late 90s, with a lot of infrastructure projects, we established a very good practice corresponded to the international solutions. So we were in a line. We implemented CAA directive in 2004, and what happened after that, I'm going to say a little bit later. But even to that practice, the comprehensive assessment of effectiveness is not available in Slovenia. So the purpose of the project prepared by our faculty with some other partners is to assess that practice. First of all, we want to establish very clear criteria. If we want that environmental reports are transparent, we establish a transparent criteria system. And that system we used in several methods for analyzing use and effectiveness. We used survey among 70 representative participants, review of 25 representative environmental reports, and we are going to do, some of them are already done, a series of interviews and workshops with participants. A little bit about approach. What we really want to separate is looking for substantial efficiency of SEA and procedural effectiveness of SEA. So we put that the CAA is considered efficient if information gained within a process of strategic assessments contribute to decision making, that the predictions are clear, accurate, justifiable, if proposed mitigation measures are feasible, cost effective, and contribute to the achieving of objectives of environmental protection. And we separate those indicators from the CAA as a process, and we put that that process is considered effective if the administrative procedure meets the basic premise of the strategic assessment, that's selection of environmentally the most appropriate or the best alternative, and that that results has contributed to the assessed policies, programs, and plans. We established an evaluation tool, and we were looking for the indicators like participants in the process of CAA, so how those participants has the attitudes and the activity of investors, preparers of the environmental reports, disciplinarity, strategic assessment framework, the contents of the environmental report, cooperation of participants. But those are not indicators that show the efficiency, but those are criteria that reveal the circumstances of CAA process which determine later efficiency and effectiveness. And those are the real indicators of efficiency and effectiveness. We are talking about alternative solutions, the quality of environmental reports and PPPs, and the most important one, basic one, impacts of results of CAA on PPPs, with the indicators like influence on decision making, extent and character of PPP improvements, level of different interest reconciliation. And then some other indicators like time frame of assessment and cost frame assessment. We prepare additional quality check questions with 4-point scale, exemplary, satisfying, efficient, and inappropriate. About the results. So, in many cases, CAA exists as a verification procedure and became a real optimization activity. But still, there is a number of conflict situations, including some complications, procedural complications, and of course resulting in extended time and costs, and investors really don't try that. For us, give us some questions, and our research really go along with those questions, so I'm just using those questions to explain a little bit about our efficiency. How effective is CIA proving to be within our national system? So, between satisfying and deficient. The survey research shows satisfying, but we think it's more efficient. What is the difference or impact that SEA introduction has had? We did exactly the same thing yesterday was told to the development countries not to. We throw everything we knew away, and we establish something new, European-like. Huge mistake. And because of that, CIA turned out as a verification procedure and not optimization activity. That go along with increased workload and time and cost consumptions. You have to prepare some contents which are time-consuming, needless, and not strategic. We have state description, orientated assessment, and it's a lot of claims for new data gathering, like habitat mapping or hierarchical surveys and such kind of things. Of course, there were some positive influence as well, especially on decision making. It seems that more frequent rejection of environmental less acceptable alternatives and hardware solutions, that's the thing that's for sure that the CIA implementation has brought. And what's in my opinion very important, better control over PPP on municipality level. Yesterday we also heard that the problem of skills and knowledge on municipality levels in different countries exists, and it's the same situation in Slovenia. And of course, we have to admit that some more improvements of PPP happens after the adoption of the directive. If there is an improvement, why does it work? First of all, because of recognition of some advantages. That's substantive and quality upgrading of the PPPs, and also increasing the accessibility of the PPPs in local communities. Why? Especially because we are building good practice with some engaged participants. We are learning from mistakes in environmental reports rejected by responsible ministries, and we have quite a constructive cooperation between participants. How can SEA get more effective? We have some proposals. Maybe it's going to be very funny because those are actually proposals you can read in any theoretical book about strategic assessment. But the practice is far away from that theory. First of all, dealing with strategic level. We have some CIA process dealing with 3 houses. It's not a joke, really. 3 houses. We heard yesterday. CIA should deal with policies. No doubt about that. We have to move from project level to the policy level, including that we should deal with alternatives on hierarchically higher levels. Somehow, the CIA has to be optimization activity and part of PPP preparation process. We ask our representative preparers, the environmental consultants, the question was, what CIA should be in procedure way. Today, we have CIA as autonomous process according to National Environmental Protection Act. But our suggestion on the end of the project will be we don't want to have a separate procedure. Maybe some people will lose their job in the ministry, but we are really sure that the CIA has to be a part of formal PPP preparation process. We don't want to have a separate process. It's quite interesting that 99% of the environmental experts think that there is no need for formal process at all. My opinion is that probably our society is not on a level that can happen. We are not on a level that no procedure is needed. We have some administrative tool. How can CIA get more effective? Continuous. It has to be a comprehensive process. Today we are dealing with the components according to the CIA directive. Some of them think that we should deal only with components of natural environment, with water, air, soil, biodiversity. But the majority of our people think that we have to deal with society, economy, and environment. Environment in a wider meaning of that word, holistic approach. How it's possible to make those suggestions happen? First of all, we think that the modification of legal framework has to be done. 30% of responses shows that it has to be major changes, including modification of the CIA directive, but we have to modify to change our National Environmental Protection Act. It's not good. We have to do it. And the second thing we are going to try to do is to stimulate project approach, education, and good practice. Here are some thoughts. We prepared those thoughts as a question to the environmental experts. And those thoughts are going to be our suggestion in changing practice and legal framework as well. First of all, terms of reference reviews. So just not just reviews of environmental reports. We think that the reviews has to be done on the very first beginning of the process. Obligatory scoping, it's not obligatory, and it's just a few of them today in our practice, so we are going to put them obligatory. Of course, environmental reports reviews, we don't have any. What we are a little bit surprised that a very few of our experts thinks that increased public participation can help. We have a very bad experience with the public, but I'm not sure if the public is problem. Probably also we are the problem because we are not dealing in the right way with them. Some guidelines. We will try to establish continuous professional development program. We are in a chamber of architecture and spatial planning. We are in the process of establishing continuous professional development program. And it's going to be very nice. The people really like and they want to learn something more. And we are trying to prepare such a program also for environmental experts. Of course, some conferences, consultants, list of reference environmental report preparers, maybe chamber. And here is a little bit provocative question dealing with hiring free hiring of reference environmental report preparers is a little bit problematic thing, because mainly the municipalities and government agencies are those who pay for environmental reports, and they have to be in a way of hiring those preparers who are the cheapest. And we know that those who are the cheapest usually are not the best. So this is a very good method. The last slide, Ross asked us to add. I'm not going to repeat because all the suggestions were already said. As I said in the beginning, same problems, same solutions, but it seems that nobody is listening to us, decision makers and politicians, of course. So I would suggest a discussion in a way how we are going to listen our ideas. I think that we know how to do it, but it seems that it's very good.
Thank you, Anish. I think this is very interesting, focusing on really relevant issues, especially what you just mentioned at the end, that nobody listens to us. Maybe they listen, but they don't do anything. So, and especially the decision makers, the planners actually, but also of course the politicians at the local and provincial level. We in Austria have exactly the same experience. Okay, now we move forward. Please, Jadranka. Jadranka, okay, thank you. Please go ahead with the presentation.
Okay, I made this presentation together with my colleague, Jadranka, but I will speak because I'm the one who speaks much more than her. Some boring facts about Macedonia, but I will tell you some interesting ones while we are reading. Macedonia is one of the 6 republics from the former Yugoslavia, but it is the only state, I think, in the world which, in its reference to its name, has the word Yugoslavia. Skopje, the capital of Macedonia, is the birthplace of Mother Teresa, so we tend to say our Mother Teresa. And currently we are on the 4th place in basketball. So in Europe, this is very important for us. I believe you already read that we are candidate country for 2005. But I would say that in 2009, during the Swedish presidency, it was recommended to the Commission to start negotiation, but unfortunately, due to the name dispute that we have over Macedonia with Greece, it was actually not approved by the Council. The legislation, actually, the process of approximation in Macedonia started about 2001, and I can say that during this time we have prepared a law on environment which was really drafted in a very transparent way with many public debates, and that actually helped not just the public in general, but the stakeholders to get to know the subject, what are their future obligations. So we have prepared the law which was adopted in 2005, and then we have prepared the secondary legislation which am I doing something here? Or? With secondary legislation, so more or less we have 100% has approximated the SCA directive. We have also ratified the IAIA Convention, and SIA protocol is signed by Macedonia, but it should be ratified next year. The implementation, actually how we started. We can say that implementation in Macedonia started in 2009, when the secondary legislation was adopted, so we have the full legal framework in place. But also we have established the examination commission. When someone wants to make SCA reports, to be SCA expert, he has to pass through examination. And afterwards they have to have an approval. Why we consider this important? Because we realize that the knowledge of SCA in Macedonia is quite weak. So we see it as a tool how to increase the knowledge among the experts. And the first, I can say about how is this examination or certification system. So it consists of oral and written examination. And our first impression, first experience is that really the expert did not make clear distinction between the IAIA and SCA. And because of that, the first exam, no expert has passed the exam. So, but this was at the end a learning tool for them, because during the information, we try to make clear, to make the difference, to educate the experts as well. Then we realized that we have to do something to educate not just the administration but the expert, to raise the level of their expertise. At the moment we have 30 experts. And we notice a bit of an improvement in the last year. Problem in implementation, what we have to understand, that central and local authorities, they don't have sufficient knowledge about ACA. Not even the procedure, but what is the added value of the ACA. What it contributes to better planning or to better implementation. Then we understand that there is a lack of capacity of public participation, but on the institutional side. The local authority especially, they don't know how to involve the public, what tools to use, how to make the planning procedure more interesting for them. But also I can say some positive example where actually due to SEAC, people were invited in some municipalities, even it did not contribute too much to improvement of the plan itself, just a little bit, but we understand that actually authorities, due to the public consultation, made some input on the other activities. They take some other activities later on. So it shows that the public, in a way, starts to be a kind of more active. And SCA procedure is still seen more as a burden. So my colleagues would receive phone calls from, I don't know, mayors, even from our superiors to tell, okay, can you see if you can just say that this essay is not needed? How is the system in Macedonia? If any authority wants to make a plan, they inform the ministry, then the ministry actually says you have to make an essay or you don't have to make an essay, depending on the scoping information they will give. Legal problems, too wide scope of application. Every plan, they have to inform the ministry, notify, yes, we are going to prepare the plan, is there essay or needed or not needed? So we realized that we have taken in the ministry the whole burden. We didn't give any type of, how to say, ownership of the ACA procedure to the authorities that prepare the plan. And also what another problem is we did not allow IAIA and SCA procedure to be implemented jointly. And we realized that very often, especially for urban plans, SCA is done, for urban plan is done just because some project should be developed in that area. So we consider that this is actually one point that we should overcome. On the side of the expert, you already anticipate so far, quality of SCA report was very poor. So my colleagues should go in the ministry and reject some of the reports, especially low level of public participation. So I would say the experts were not in a position to understand what are the critical issues in that area. This was also contributing to low public quality of the reports. And we didn't have an access point for public information on SCA procedure. So there was no portal on the ministry which was dealing with the SCA. So that's why we actually wanted to have some project which was straighten our capacity in this regard, and the Dutch Environmental Assessment Commission was here, so we had this project with them. It is a 2-year project ending this year in December. So we have created with them internet portal for ICA. We made a workshop around Macedonia, going from one side to another, one place to another. Macedonia is a small country, 2 million people, so it's very easy to do. What it is about, what is SCA, how it is implemented, and we, before draft changing the legislation, we wanted to hear from the administration, from the public, how we should change the law. And this was actually, we also want to increase the practice, so we work with them on 2 pilot projects. Also, we have another project which is not written here with support from this. It is more about training the certain experts and ministry staff of SCA. In the frame of this project, we have amended the law on environment, streamlining the criteria whether SCA is needed or not. I think the most important part is now the authorities, local or central, which develop the plan, they have to make a decision whether they have to conduct ACA or not. So we increase the ownership. Now the mayor, when he has to sign, okay, we have to do ACA for this plan, this will be the scope. It should be published on their website and also sent to the ministry. And each authority in a period of 2 weeks has also NGOs and any legal or private person has a possibility to appeal this decision. either on the scope, either whether the SCA is needed or not. So we realize that actually now the mayors has a little bit more responsibility deciding whether they have to conduct SCA or not. It will ease the burden to the ministry, so the responsibility now we shifted on the side of the authority which prepared the plan. So the consultation with the public is at a very early stage, and also they have to, the ministry, if they see any problem with the scoping, then the ministry has a right to say, as any other authorities, the scope is not well done, you have to consider this, or your decision about not making SCA is wrong, you have to make SCA, and this is the standing point. In order to help, especially the municipalities, we have to create special screening forms. So they have to submit and publish the screening forms on their website and to the ministry. So this helps a lot to them during this consultation procedure. They ask us, we would need such screening forms because we don't know how to assess. So this was like helping to other authorities. Still, we need to strengthen the capacity. So in October, we are going to have another tour around Macedonia, explain the new procedure to all the municipalities and to the central authorities, how they should do it. And also, we invite NGO, so to inform them that the right to appeal, because there are some strong NGO in Macedonia who are really breathing behind us, like all the time. Asking more information or trying to interfere in the decision. The most important part, I already said, the ownership now is transferred to the authority which prepares the plan. So this is, I think, the most important part. Experts already have some better experience, but also we have to strengthen their capacities. That's why whenever we have a project dealing with this, we always want to include the experts in it. And as we say, ministry is feeling responsible to improve the SCA procedure, so that's why we try to engage as many other experts and authorities